Chief of Staff Sri Lanka Army on 1st August 2013 before he undertook an overseas assignment.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ayubowan and good morning to all of you. Ayubowan is the traditional way of greeting, meaning may you be blessed with long life. So therefore, ladies and gentlemen, once again, let me say Ayubowan to all of you all. As the commander of the army and the host of the Defence Seminar 2015, I am honored by your presence and I welcome you all warmly to this wonderful learning experience with a view of devising a collective strategy which I believe is very important to overcome issues impinging on national, regional and global security. The Defence Seminar 2015 will proceed through carefully sequenced sessions comprising of presentations, panel discussions and participant-oriented group discussions to enhance the discourse on national security issues and emerging global threats. Ladies and gentlemen, today we are privileged by the presence of some of the finest and most eminent local and foreign personalities to talk on these contemporary subjects during the next 2 days. I now wish to most respectfully welcome our chief guest today, His Excellency Hamid Karzai, the former President of Afghanistan. Your Excellency, your gracious presence here today is inspiring and it's an honor and a privilege to have you with us today. I am certain that this forum looks forward to learning from your vast knowledge and experience on contemporary international issues. It is also my pleasure to warmly welcome Dr. Arvind Gupta, Deputy National Security Advisor in India, who at our invitation is present here today despite perhaps his numerous commitments. I am also honored to welcome His Excellency General Aid bin Awad Al-Shalal, Royal Land Force Commander of Saudi Arabia. Ladies and gentlemen, it is indeed an honor and a privilege to have this galaxy of guests
in 2011 as an annual international forum that aimed at illustrating Sri Lanka's rise and development in the post-conflict scenario. The very first defense seminar showcased the Sri Lankan experience in defeating terrorism, while the subsequent seminars examined post-conflict development and challenges in the local as well as the regional conflicts. As it has evolved, the defense seminar has broadened in scope to include a candid discussion of regional and global issues, and it has been enriched by the presence of many knowledgeable and distinguished participants from around the world. I am very glad to see that this trend is not only continuing but being enhanced this year with the presence of even more distinguished guests, including our keynote speaker, His Excellency Hamid Karzai, former President of Afghanistan. I am confident that all of the participants at this seminar will benefit greatly from his wisdom and experience, as well as the knowledge sharing that will take place during the course of this year. This year's defense seminar encompasses assassination attempts and the effort of extremists to disrupt the country's first national election. In September 2004, he was elected to a full 5-year term as the first directly elected president in the country's history. Mr. Hamid Karzai, tenure as president, faced enormous challenges which he handled with great skill and aplomb, winning re-election in 2009 for a further period of 5 years. In 2014, Mr. Karzai also
Gupta, Deputy National Security Advisor of India, my brother, Commander of the Royal Saudi Land Forces, Governor. I have been to Sri Lanka many times before. First time in 1993 as the then Deputy Foreign Minister to attend the funeral of President Premadasa, if I'm not mistaken. It was a time of conflict. And again in 2008 to visit as the President of Afghanistan to attend the SARC conference as we were nearing the end of conflict in Sri Lanka. And then again last year as a state guest of the Sri Lankan people and government in April of 2014, and to very luckily, very happily for me and also surely for the people of Sri Lanka, to see the change in 5 years since the establishment of peace towards prosperity, growth, and the improvement of infrastructure. That made me very, very happy because I came also from a country that was troubled, vexed, and almost destroyed in terms of its infrastructure and well-being by conflict and intervention. So I once again express my happiness at peace here. I hope it will be eternal, and for the prosperity and well-being that has followed the establishment of peace in this lovely country of ours. Ladies and gentlemen, the type of extremism of the right on the Afghan people. So Afghanistan became a conflict ground of two competing political motivations: the leftist inclination and the rightist inclination. The consequence for Afghanistan was disastrous. While we were happy to be trying to free ourselves, we also saw that those that invaded us and those that helped us were trying to impose their own thinking, their own interests on us. The result was an immense loss of human life, immense destruction of the Afghan social system, the infrastructure, and all that the nation holds dear. And as we all know, in situations like that, when there is an internal dynamic in a country, when there are also external players in a country, two of the essentials in any society are used: ethnicity and religion, as easy sources of promotion of interests. In case of Afghanistan, the religion was used as a very powerful tool to weaken the Soviet Union. You must have heard the political phrase of the arc of crisis, as it was initiated and labeled by political strategists, especially in the United States, to weaken and to encircle the Soviet Union. This was one of the most fundamental reasons for the spread of radicalism, religious radicalism in Afghanistan, and for bringing in radicalism into Afghanistan through the door of our good neighbor, brotherly neighbor Pakistan, to weaken the Soviet Union, to contain the Soviet Union, and then later to weaken the Soviet Union. The ability of the Afghan people to wage a successful struggle and the imposition of religious radicalism on the Afghan resistance really became a lethal force to weaken the Soviet Union and take on to cause, together with all other factors, the collapse of the former Soviet Union. Here, after the withdrawal of the former Soviet Union, while we were happy to be liberated from the Soviet invasion and occupation, we also saw the extremely negative consequences of the absence of the former Soviet Union as a labor force. An immense vacuum was created. The United States lost its interest for a while in Afghanistan and in Pakistan. It left the region and left Afghanistan to the aspirations of our neighbors and to the use of religious radicalism as the most important instrument for influence in Afghanistan and beyond. This also caused Afghanistan to go into a serious, extremely damaging internal conflict. The internal conflict in turn also added more fire and fuel to the use of radicalism in Afghanistan by forces close to us and by forces far beyond Afghanistan. This caused the complete collapse of the state system in Afghanistan. This caused the complete collapse of institutional order in Afghanistan, especially the collapse of our armed forces and of our police forces and of our governmental structures. Looting, insecurity, anarchy of the highest